Hey guys, Justin here from Simplified Investing. I hope you guys are all having a great weekend. As we do every week to start our weekly watch list video highlighting the 5 plays of the week as well as key market breakdowns. That being said, the 5 plays this week, the first one being Square, second one being Tesla, third one being Nvidia, fourth one being PayPal, and the fifth one being Palantaire. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe, it would be appreciated. Thank you. So, getting things started, for those of you who have watched our prior videos, the first thing I'm doing is going to be breaking down the market structure. What do we see on the market in the past week, and also what can we expect to see within the coming week? So again, the thing that I'm going to be using to do that is going to be the /NQ, which is going to be the NASDAQ futures. And for those of you who have been watching the market in the past week, we finally saw a bounce and a follow-through without getting hit with a rejection. So very, very strong signs here on the market. We're bouncing following the FOMC, raising the rates by 0.25% as expected, and the market is rallying off of this news. So just looking at basic structure of the market from a perspective of higher lows, higher highs, lower lows, and lower highs, here's what we're seeing. So you can see this continued downtrend here. We did get a 3 relief bounce here before breaking down back in the beginning of February. Continued downtrend move here. However, this is the first sequence of 4 higher highs that we have seen since this downtrending market has happened. Potential sign for a reversal here on the NASDAQ. Just looking at it from a price structure perspective, you can see we made highs here on 315, creating a new high, higher high from this 314 candle. Continued higher highs here on 316, continued higher highs on 317, as well as 318. And again, this is the first time we have seen this since we began selling off in the market. So, strong reversal here. Now, one thing to note, when you do get a clear, obvious reversal like this, a lot of times what will happen in the market is you'll get what's called a shakeout candle. And what that's going to look like is a red candle here giving a false signal, shaking out those weak orders who are trying to play this reversal before pushing to the upside. So be careful with that. Something to note, it's prevalent when the market, everyone's looking at the same thing saying, oh my, this is the first 4 higher highs we've had, reversal. That's where a lot of people get trapped. The market sells off, they sell their position before it pushes and advances to the upside like that setup actually has. So keep that in mind. Biggest region I'm seeing above here, obviously, which is a stretch to hit, is going to be this 15,138 level. That is going to be the level to watch here for the upside. That's actually where we rejected on this bounce back on 2-2 before pushing to the downside. But very, very strong. Over a 1,400 point reversal here on the NASDAQ. Looking very strong. Confirmation through that 15,137 level. Looking very, very strong here. Now again, wouldn't surprise me to see some selling pressure here. Maybe pulling into this 14,150 region or this 14,000 support level. Both of those levels key to watch to hold to the downside. If we do break that 14,150, really would like to see that 14,000 hold. What you don't want to see is a red candle that breaks the lows of this candle we made here on 318 below 13,962. So keep that in mind. Ideally holding above 14,000 for continued upside this week on the NASDAQ market. First play, and a lot of these plays aren't going to be the breakout trades that I normally have or that I normally look for on the daily chart, simply because obviously the market has pulled back, and now we're trying to see reversals, and reversals are going to be a different setup than trading breakouts, and that is what Square is going to be within the coming weeks. So we're obviously selling off on Square. It went from 289 all the way down to 82. You can see this gap up post-ER, which got hit with this 129.53 selling, pushing to the downside. And you can see all this structure that we have formed here. This is also known as an accumulation phase here. We aren't making a series of lower lows, which we have seen. You can see these continued lower lows here, right? There's no change of the trend. There's no change of the structure. Well, now if we highlight this, you can see down here, okay, this is clearly all lower lows here. All of this is, okay? But what about all of this? This is finally a point where we aren't selling off. We're trading sideways. Now we're pushing through structure. A great reversal formation here through 130 on square. I do think we have potential to see 160 on this one. Obviously not this week. That's a huge advancement. But really, really liking this move to the upside. Watching this through 140. You can see after hours we're testing below. But if we do confirm through 140, we'll be eyeing this one close. If we do zoom in, close, we got a very, very strong volume push. Not sure if there's potential news coming out in the coming up week or what it might be. You can see we pushed all the way from 137 to 143 in a matter of 10 minutes. So watching this one close, holds through 140, really liking this one to the upside within the coming week. Tesla, going to be the next play. And this one is not a setup that has confirmed yet, but something I really want you guys to keep an eye on. So the biggest level that we need to break here is this 941.78 region. And yes, I know that's $40 off for Tesla, but if we do get in a movement on the NASDAQ market, Tesla is going to follow through with that. And why this 941.78 region? What is the significance? That just happens to be where we traded in structure from 124 all the way to 216. So almost a month of rejection at this price point, indicating, okay, this is a very, very strong resistance level we should watch. So you can see continued rejections at this 941.78 level. It was also the gap level where we had a 1221 bounce pushing near all-time highs here. So significant level at 941.78. If we do finally break out of this region, I highly suggest keeping this one on watch. It will be one that we are personally watching to trade to the upside. Do you think we can see a move through 1,000 if we do get that 941.78 breakout here this week? And again, if we do break above, that 941.78 level should provide us with a very strong support level below in the coming week. Third play, another reversal play, and this one's going to be similar to Square. It does have some downtrend structure, finding some accumulation here, not forming net new lows, which is always a great sign. We are trading some volume. Now, it's not, if you've watched previous volume or previous videos, I really like to see 2x volume, not trading 2x, but anytime you're trading abnormal volume, it is something to note. And what I want to see is there's a lot of structure, a lot of support and resistance between 218 all the way up into here to 264. I would like to see a breakout through 271 just to clear all this prior structure that we have been trading in. If we do get a breakout through that 271 region, I do think we can see 284, potentially up here into the 300 regions. Waiting on that 271 breakout. Again, you can see all this structure that we have in this region here if we zoom out. A lot of time spent in this level, which creates a lot of support and resistances in this level. And when you break that, that's a lot of times where you can see a strong continuation and a new trend move or a push to the upside, similar to this case if we do break out through that 271 region. So keep that on watch in the coming week. It will be something we are watching as well. Next play, PayPal. This one is one that hasn't set up entirely yet. It is one that is in a clear, obvious downtrend. Anytime you trade from 310 to 92 within 1 year, it's been beat down bad. And when you get beat down bad, that leaves you with a lot of overhead resistance levels above because you've tested these previous levels before. There has been structure here. And really what I'm liking here is the first bounce on PayPal where we have broke this bounce level back here from 228, which was going to be around this 112 area. You can see we're finally bouncing, pushing to the upside. Now, we do have a lot of levels in here to watch between 127 up here into 134, and that's going to be mainly from these levels that we were trading following the earnings. So when we did gap down huge on earnings here, that's where a lot of the structure was and where we bounced and failed on 2.4. But this is the first time where we've bounced and created net new highs off of a bounce here and pushed to the upside. And the main reason being the NASDAQ market, similar structure. The PayPal has been following that. Same with Square. Again, looking very, very strong. I want to see if we can clear through 126.75 on this one in the coming week. If we do pull back, expecting this 112 area to provide us with a strong support and potential bounce area to trade this one as well. The fifth play, common theme as well, and it's going to be Palantaire, another one that's been beat down hard from $29 to $9. That's a drastic drop, right? And what I'm finally seeing here is we get this bounce off of 974 on 224, trading sideways for a month, and then finally trying to break out, which we did break out through this 1224 region. Again, very, very similar setup to PayPal, very, very similar to the NASDAQ, and that's because they do make up the NASDAQ. They're components of the NASDAQ, so you can expect the movement to be somewhat similar. Now, for a level above, watching this level here at 13, so let's draw this as a visualization. It was the rejection point that we did get here on Friday. It also coincides with this bounce area on 211, 214, and then failed to make a strong earnings report, bad EPS, gapped way down here below that. So really what I'd like to see is a move through 13 here in the coming week. If we do trade above in this area, 17 is a very strong overhead resistance. I do not see it hitting that this week, but it is a strong resistance above. When we do trade above 13, it will become a new support below. And let's zoom in on an intraday time frame. You can see we got a shakeout here by 2 cents before pushing to the downside. Continues to near that 13 level. That will be the key to watch to take this one to the upside here for a continued move to the upside. With that being said, that wraps up our weekly watch list video. If you did enjoy this video, if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. If you are interested in getting our private course, alerts, and more, feel free to check out simplified-investing.com today. Hope you guys all have a great weekend and also a great week trading. Thank you.